welcome. Today we are going to talk about embedding and LTIs. Is everyone ready? Still have some people popping in. I'm Katie, I'm the ITC at Woodbridge High School, and my co-presenter today is?
Hi, I'm Biz. I'm the ITC at Fredland Middle School.
All right, so I'm going to be taking the first half of the presentation and I'm going to be telling you all about embedding, and then she's going to take you through the second part and she's going to be doing LTIs. We will be monitoring the chat, so please pop your questions in there. Please don't pop into the video and into the microphone. Just put your questions in the chat. Biz will moderate there. I'll moderate there the second half. And then at the end, hopefully we'll have some time for you guys to get on it and ask your questions live. Hopefully you took some time before coming today to look at those videos I sent out in the email last night. So just to introduce you to what is an LTI and what is a embedding. If you didn't get to watch those are in the course and you can watch them later. So all about LTIs and all about embedding. You will see there are a lot of things in this course. So we're going to show you some of the examples today. We cannot possibly get through them all, but for instance, the bottom module, all the embedding examples, if there is something you want to embed, there is probably a how-to sheet here to show you how to do it. So we're not going to get into every one of these pages today, just the most popular ones. And you will continuously have access to this course through the fall. So it's not going away. You'll have access to it. This session is being recorded and we will share the recording link in the class later so that if you want to come back and view it, you can. At the end of the session, there's going to be a Google form for attendance. Please do not miss the attendance. That is the only way we have to keep track of your attendance. If you don't fill it out, we're not going to mark you present in the ERO, and we're not going to be really awesome feeling when you send us an email in 5 days and said, I forgot to do it, and we're going to say, sorry. So fill out the attendance. All right, Biz, any questions or housekeeping things we should add?
No, I think you've got it pretty well covered.
All right, great. I'm just going to get right in there then. So what I'm going to be covering is embedding. Embedding is when you want to put some content onto a Canvas page from another website, okay? When you're making your pages, and you can do this in a page or an assignment, the top part of an assignment is where you can embed content. So we have called this box the Rich Content Editor. Codes from lots of websites or create them ourselves with what's called an iframe generator. And we would put that, I'm gonna actually turn my video off because it says my internet is not great for some reason. All right, is my sound cool though? Biz, is my sound fine?
Yeah, I think turning off your video is pretty smart. And I'm going to suggest also too, if people, it kind of saves on bandwidth, I think, if people keep their videos off. So if you are not presenting and you don't mind turning your video off, it might make this go a little smoothly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when we give you a code or you get the code to embed, you're not going to put it here. For instance, if I go to quizzes and let's say I want to put this Quizlet, not quizzes, this Quizlet, if I wanted to put this on the page, I first had to find the embed code. And in Quizlet, if you're not familiar with Quizlet, it's a great tool to use for vocab enforcement and practice. Quizlet actually provides you the embed code very easily. So you'll find the embed code under these little 3 dots, which mean more, and you'll see embed, and they just give you the embed code. So I'm going to copy that code. So if I went over to my page and I just pasted it here, okay, and I save my page, you'll see that the code is just on the page. Like, that did not embed anything. I just see the code. Where I actually need to paste this code is on the back side in the raw HTML side of the page. So I'm going to delete this. In the bottom corner, you'll see those greater than, less than sign with a slash. That's what I'm going to click. It says, when I hover over it, it says switch to raw HTML editor. I know that I'm on this side because notice that toolbar went away. See that toolbar's gone? If I go back to the other side, it's there, gone, there, gone. All right, this is the side, the gone side is where I want to paste my code. So now if I paste my code for this Quizlet, I switch back over to the other side, and my Quizlet is on the page. Now you'll notice that it's pretty narrow and it's on the left-hand side, and that's totally okay. Because when I go to save my page, this is a responsive code that responds to the width of the page. So if I'm on a mobile device, it will fit to the page. If I'm on a smaller laptop, it will fit to the page. If I'm on a bigger monitor, it will fit to the page. So now my student can come here and I can say start game, and I can play this Quizlet game. So what we'd love for you to do, I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to, where is my chat? I'm going to put the link in the chat. We'd love for you to go to this page and play the Quizlet at the bottom and get that experience of what it's like to do a Quizlet activity. Yeah, if you're a kid from the late 90s like me and Biz, this is totally your MySpace, totally your GeoCities page. You will remember this. Yeah, so go ahead. You'll see that on this page, the one about Quizlet, I have the directions. So, we have a direction sheet for this for like all different types of tools. And then at the bottom of the page is just a Quizlet you can play to experience. So this is the type of thing that you would put into your Canvas page for students to do some informative activities. So maybe at the top of your page, you're gonna put your notes, or you're gonna put the vocab list. And at the bottom of your page, you're gonna have that Quizlet that you want kids to just do to just practice. This isn't for a grade. This is just an interactive practice. Biz, do you have anything, or is there any questions that I should talk about?
No, all the MySpace kids are just rejoicing though.
Yeah, it's totally that vibe. All right. So that is Quizlet. That is the first tool that I'm going to show you. Again, if I go back to Quizlet, I'll show you how easy it was to get that code again. So you just go to the Quizlet activity, you click on the 3 dots, and you're going to look for that embed code. So it's always a greater than, less than sign pointing towards another with a slash sometimes in between. In this case, just the greater than, less than, and it says embed. I click it, I get the code, and I go to my Canvas page and I paste it. All right, so that is the basics of an embed code and the example of Quizlet. Just remember, we're recording this. You're going to be able to go back and watch it, and I'm going to be doing lots more examples. All right, so this next example is Nearpod, and I am doing this example for not the schools that pay for Nearpod. So if I pay for Nearpod school, you can just kind of tune me out for a minute. This doesn't apply to you. You're going to listen to Biz when she talks about Nearpod in the second half. This is for the teacher who is using a free account or a paid teacher account. So if you pay for your own Nearpod account, I think it's like $140 a year, this is your mode. So if you want to assign a kid a self-paced lesson, you're going to go to that lesson, you're going to choose self-paced, you're going to launch a new self-paced lesson, it's going to create that code, and you'll see at the bottom there's an embed option. Okay, so I'm going to click that. I'm going to click, I want this to be large on the page. So I'm going to click large, and I'm going to copy that code. So then, of course, I'm going to take this code over to Canvas, and I'm going to paste it. Before I do that, I'm going to just show you one more time. So I choose self-paste, I choose a code, and then I get that embed code. And I want to choose large so it takes up the page. Then I'm going to go back to Canvas. I'm going to go into my rich text editor. And I'm going to go to that back side. I'm going to delete that code I had before. I'm going to paste my new Nearpod code. Oops, that doesn't look right. Okay, paste that Nearpod code back to the front side. My Nearpod's now on the page. I save it, and now my students can do it self-paced right there in Canvas. That's the advantage to embedding things. It keeps kids in Canvas. That is so helpful for those students that have executive functioning. issues not having to have several tabs open, if they can just stay in Canvas, that is going to be like super awesome for them. So you'll see the kid will just be able to put their name in and start their little self-paced lesson and get to it. So we have an example for you. I'm going to put it in the Nearpod directions and then a Nearpod lesson at the bottom. Just go ahead and start that lesson just as an experience of what it's like. Biz, do we have any questions?
I think I answered this correctly, but correct me if I'm wrong. Quizlet Live is Zoom only, right?
Correct, yeah. So exactly. You would just do that in a Zoom and give them the link.
And then my other question is, did you talk yet about the accessibility features? If you're going to embed, what else you need to do?
No, yeah, I've not yet. Great topic. Yes. So whenever you embed something like I've been doing, you also want to give the link to the item above it. So for instance, for this Nearpod, I get the embed code. I'd also copy this link and I'd go back to the page and I'd edit it. And I would put the link to that Nearpod also directly above the embed. That way, if a student is using a screen reader, or if they're on a mobile device and the embedding just isn't working for them, or if they just want to open it in a new window. For those of you who were MySpacers, you're going to remember this, break. I want a space up there. It wasn't giving me one. All right, now I can put that code or that link, nope. And remember, we always put links in text, Nearpod activity. I'm gonna go get that link again. And I'm gonna highlight it and put the link in, because we always also wanna provide that direct link. Embedding is great for most kids, but there'll be certain kids or certain devices that having that link to go directly to the activity is gonna be better. Anything else, Biz?
Can you show the break code again, please?
Yeah, of course. So a break is just a line, and a break code is literally that BR greater than, BR less than, or I always get those mixed up. Which you want them to be like this and put BR between them. Yeah, so that's just adds a space or a line between each thing. So let me go back. All right. And then I think I also saw, if you embed something in your sandbox, would it copy to your classes? Yes. So embeds would copy from your sandbox to your classes, your hub classes. LITs will not. So you can set up the assignments in your sandbox, but you'll have to do the LIT connection after you copy the assignment to your sandbox. And Biz will go into that a little bit more when it's her time.
I will. And also external links, should you format them as paragraph or heading?
External links, they can just be a paragraph, that's fine. Yeah, they don't need to be a heading. You could also put like a heading over here that's today's activity. You can make that today's activity heading, and then the Nearpod would be below it. That could be helpful for someone. Let's see, anything else? Thank you, Rodney. Yes, I knew you would come in with my less than and greater than. Appreciate it.
So Natalie just asked where you want them to practice the Nearpod activity, but I don't think they need to practice it, right? It's just an option. If
no, you don't have to practice it. We just want to give you the experience of seeing what it's like for the student, and we've provided you the directions above that. So that's just something, you know, you'll practice, go back with your ITC and meet, and they can help you with these things further. This is just to kind of give you an overview of how you do it, and then you'll get to practice on your own later. All right, the next one that I'm going to show you is Flipgrid. So Biz is going to show you the Flipgrid LTI. And when we're talking about LTIs, that's going to mean that SpeedGrader will grade it. But sometimes you're not going to want SpeedGrader to grade a Flipgrid. You're just going to want to put it on the page. Maybe it's more of just like a community building exercise. So when you go to your Flipgrid, I'm going to use this one as an example. In your Flipgrid grid, you'll have a share button. And you'll see that less than / greater than sign right here. And it's, if I hover over it, it says copy embed code. I click on it, and then I go back to my HTML editor, and I'm gonna put that in there, go back to the front, and again, you'll see it's kind of, you know, narrow. But when I click that save button, it's gonna be wider. There we go. So students will be able to log in right here and join their, that Flipgrid and record right there. So that's a Flipgrid grid. Other things that you can make that I've really become a little bit obsessed with recently are Flipgrid shorts. Flipgrid shorts are videos that you record as a teacher and you can provide your students. So you can see I've recorded a lot of them lately that we're going to be putting on our school's social media to tell them how to use the different tools. So if you want to embed these on your page, and we've done that in the welcome page here in the course, there's that embed code, and you just go back. You're going to edit. I'm going to edit this page and paste that code. I go back to the front, and the video will be there. The great thing about Flipgrid Shorts is that they do auto caption. So it meets that accessibility requirement of being captioned. So after you record your Flipgrid short, you can say edit captions, and you can edit those for accuracy, and then you can embed these videos on your page, and they will be just what your students need. Just to show you an example of these videos. This year, you'll meet with teachers via Zoom. The links for the Zoom meetings will be located in your... You can see I was able to put this picture of Zoom up in the corner. This is something you can do when you're making the video in Flipgrid. You don't need a whole post-editing software. So if you're trying to make engaging videos, but you don't have video skills, I definitely recommend you check out Flipgrid Shorts. I try and throw in like a bonus thing into every session I do. So this is my bonus today, is Flipgrid Shorts. Go check it out. I'm a little bit obsessed with it right now. As you can see by my 49 videos, I'm almost 40 and I've become a YouTuber, is what I've decided, for my students only. All right, so that is Flipgrid. A big request we had, and here are the directions for Flipgrid, and I'll put this in the chat. And all of these are in the course for you to look at later and use as you're developing your stuff. This course is meant to be a resource for you for the next year. You'll have access to it. When you're wanting to create something, you're like, oh, they showed me that. You can come back to this page and you can create the content. So two things that are really common for people to ask us to show, to embed, is Kahoot and quizzes. So I'm gonna go to my Kahoots, and I'm going to show you the steps here. Now, you can embed... Katie,
can you hang on 1 second? There's a lot of questions around this one Flipgrid topic. Can you talk about when you would want to embed it versus when you would want to integrate with LTI?
Right. So if it's a Flipgrid maybe that you are having students do to just get to know each other, I would do the embed. That way they can see everyone's easily. But if it's like actual summative or formative assignment that you want to grade, if it's something you're grading, I would do the speed grader because it makes it so much easier for you to do the grading part. Do you have any this?
I think I'm keeping up. I think you can go on. I just wanted to make sure that you covered that because a lot of people had asked.
Okay. All right, so for a Kahoot, you can add to your course in a different way to embed it. So you'll press play, and you're gonna wanna select the challenge mode. So this isn't for a live mode, that is what you would do during a Zoom, but if you're trying to give this to them to practice on their own, you would say challenge, and you would make the, create a new challenge, give the due dates and make your settings and say create. And then you're gonna get the code, but they do not give you an embed code here. But that's okay, because I'm gonna show you the really easy way to add it to your class. So I'm gonna say copy URL, Then I'm going to go back to my course and I'm going to go to a module. And in that module, I'm going to press the plus sign. And I'm going to add it as an external URL. I paste that code in the URL box and I give it a name, Kahoot Review Game. And then I'll just say add item, and this will add this to my module. So if I scroll down to the bottom of my module, it will be there. I can drag it up and I can move it. But here's that Kahoot Review Game. When I click it, it will open and it will be able for them to play right there on the screen. So very easy to add that Kahoot. In Kahoot, again, you just copy that code. Remember, you're going to choose the, I might go through it again. You would do this for every Kahoot game. Yes, you would do this. They're individual games that you're posting into your class. So click the play, select the challenge mode, not the host, challenge, create a new one, make the due date, set the settings, and then say create. Nope, the pin is in the code that you're copying. Then you're going to say copy URL, and you can see that that code, that pin code was part of the URL. So I just copy it, go back to my modules. At the top of the module I want it to be in, I just say the plus sign, external URL, paste the URL, and Kahoot Review Game, and save, add item. Now it's at the bottom and my kids will be able to play it. Super easy, keeping them in Canvas. All right, but maybe you want to actually put the game on a page. Maybe you want it to be below some text that you're giving, some notes. Like you're gonna say, oh, read these notes and then do this activity. So you want it to actually be on a page. You don't want it to just stand alone. I'm gonna show you how to do that with quizzes. So for quizzes, which is also a popular quiz game thing, I have a quiz, accessibility quiz that I made. You're gonna choose assign with homework. You're gonna make the settings, when you wanna do it and such, say continue. And then you're gonna click where it says share link. Now you'll see this button that says Canvas. Watch what happens when I click it. It just opens Canvas. It's stupid. I have no idea why they put that button there, okay? I have no idea. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna say copy link, okay? But before we copy the link, first you'll see it's not an embed code. It's not that whole iframe code. It starts with iframe, ends with it. We need to get that first. So I've provided that for you. Not in this one, in this one. So I made this iframe code and it works. So you will first copy this code that we're gonna give you into the box. And then you'll see that there was part of it that says share link here. That's where you're gonna take that link that you get from quizzes and paste it. So I go get that link and I'm going to fill that in. I keep the quotations that are on both sides. I just delete what's between. And then that join code link is there. And when I push the HTML code and go back to the front, the game is on the page. And I will say save, and then the game will be there. So I'm going to put this link to the quizzes directions in the chat. Go experience that game, and I'll answer any questions from Biz.
The main question is, can we use that exact code to embed just anything with any link?
You can embed lots of things, but things that are HTTPS will often not embed. So you'll have to look at the front of the URL of what you're sharing to see if it will work. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it will fail. If the website is made and they're allowing it to be embedded, it will work. Things like Google Sites, they don't allow you to embed their stuff, so you can't, it won't work. Biz found out that yesterday and she was not happy. Yeah. So yeah, that iframe code is called an iframe code. You can go to websites and Google iframe generator and come up with your own as well. But this one works, and so we just give it right to you. Any other questions, Biz?
So many questions. The question was, if it's HTTPS, how can we make it work? That's a
you can't. You're just
Yeah.
gonna have to link them, and they're just gonna have to open it in a new tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can.
So the code that I created is on that page that I just shared with you. And all of these pages that I've been sharing with you are in this course. They're all in that embedding module and many, many more. So I went embedding crazy this summer. If there was a website, I was trying to figure out how to embed it. So we got, all types of things. Trying to just show the most popular today. Now, the next one is for all the math teachers out there. Desmos, the calculator. This is a hot topic. How do we get Desmos into Canvas? It is so easy. You're going to send me wine and cheese after this. I hope you do, at least. All right, so on this Desmos calculator page, I have the code for you. You just have to copy it. You have to go to your page where you want it and paste it. And there you got Desmos. So you can see again, it's narrow. It's a responsive code. So once I save it, it will be all on the page and the kids can use Desmos calculator right in here. So I will put that link in the chat for those directions. The second thing for math teachers, and actually a lot of teachers can use Desmos activities, is the Desmos activity page. So again, I've made the code for you, but you'll see again, I've highlighted something. And that's where you're gonna put that class code that you give students. Because if you put that class code there, it will fill it in for them. And it will look just like this at the bottom of the page, where all they'll have to do is click join and they'll be in the activity. So I'll put that one for you at the bottom. I'm not gonna show that one, but that is how you will do that embed. And I think that takes us through the most popular embeds, Biz.
Yep, and I know that you've already said this, Katie, but I'm going to say it again. We are not going to take you out of this class. You have access to it all year long and probably beyond that. I don't think we have any plans to ever do anything with this course. So if you feel like that went fast and there's anything that you might have missed, you can go back to it in your own time.
Yeah. It will be there for you. And if there's a tool that's not there, just leave it in like the welcome part and we'll see if it can be embedded. And some stuff just can't. So yeah. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to pass it over to Biz, who's going to tell you all about LTIs, and I'm going to take over the chat.
All right. Sorry, my Pomodoro timer just went off. It's blocking out my screen. Okay. So I just need to arrange some tabs, and I'm going to talk to you about LTI integrations, but also I'm going to talk to you about a couple things that are just frequently asked questions that aren't quite embedding and not quite LTI integrations, but that a lot of people ask about. All right, you should be looking at my my Canvas page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so the first thing that people asked about, the thing I think I've seen more than any other item is talking about annotating PDFs. There have been a lot of questions around that all summer long, and so we do have directions right here in the section of the course, but I want to show you exactly what that looks like. So if you've got a PDF that you want your students to annotate, you're going to go ahead and create that as a new assignment. And I'm going to call it PDF example and add that to my module. And then patiently wait for it. I tried to make my cursor really big so you could see it better, but that sometimes makes it harder for me to click. Also, I see my computer's running slowly now too. I might have to go camera off too. All right, so this is my PDF example assignment, and I'm gonna start by, yeah, I'm definitely gonna turn my camera off just in case that'll make things run a little faster. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna give really clear and specific directions to my students, because this isn't really the way Canvas was built to work. It's just a hack that people have figured out. So you wanna make sure that your students understand this is not a typical this is not a typical assignment. So you would be really clear about student directions. We also have a video that Katie made that you can just put right there that has student directions in it. So you'd always start with that. And then any other assignment that you want to give, any other directions specific to the assignment. So if you're asking them to annotate something, you give annotation directions as well. And then the last thing you're going to do is in your creation of the assignment, you're going to upload a document. And I'm going to upload from my desktop, slowly but surely. Okay. And here's my order of operations paper. And I'm going to click submit. So that's going to appear like that for them and for you. You'll go through all the other things you do when creating an assignment through all of here. Your submission type is going to be online, and you want to choose file upload. You can choose to restrict upload file types to PDF, but I don't think you necessarily need to do that. Make sure that they have more than one allowed attempt. And then you're going to click, you know, again, finish all the things you would normally do, and you're going to click save and publish. And that's the whole assignment. Now, again, the directions are really key, but let me show you what this looks like from the student's point of view. And so you can see how they are then able to annotate this, because it is a little counterintuitive. And this is one of the few things, it's not a few, it's one of the things I'm going to show you today that you can use the student view button to see. A lot of the integrations we're going to look at, you're not going to be able to see perfectly through the student view, which is why we wanted to give you this, another reason we gave you this course, so you can use it as a way to see to see things as students see them. So here's my PDF example. I'm the student, so I'm going to click on this to access it. And then I'm going to follow the directions, which are going to tell me first that I need to download this. That opens up a new tab, and it takes a second, but it will just download it. If your students are using Chrome, which is what we recommend, you want to make sure that they know to look for it there. And I'm just going to slowly wait for that to download. While I wait for it to download, I'm going to go ahead and click submit assignment up here. And that opens up my file upload. And I can take that file that I just downloaded, and I can upload it. And here's the part that is kind of counterintuitive. Before doing any annotations, your students are going to go ahead and click submit assignment. And that's the part that you'll want to be really clear in the instructions about, because it's not what you expect, right? They haven't done anything. But this is the magic. If they go to submission details over here on the side, it's going to pull up a tool that looks a lot like SpeedGrader. And this gives them the option to see any, if you had said feedback, they would see it here, but they would also be able to, here, it's view feedback. It's not view feedback, it is. All right. They'll pull that, they'll click that view feedback, and they can open it up nice and wide. And now they also have all of these annotation tools. So they can use their highlighter tool, and they can select specific things that they want to select. Sorry, I'm struggling with my Zoom controls. They can add text right here. They can type an answer. They can draw, right? They've got a lot of choices, all the same choices that you have. They could even draw a box around something. So all of those annotation tools that you have in SpeedGrader, your students can use here. Does that make sense? I'm going to assume it makes sense.
It does. And I just got to clarify, because there was a question in the chat that yes, they do submit before they actually do work. It does seem counterintuitive, but they're going to submit and then do work. And then I would tell my students to resubmit, like click resubmit, and then you will know they have done the work. that they've actually gone and done the annotation.
Right.
And yes, this does work on an iPad.
Yeah, it's even more fun on an iPad because because the students can get really hands-on with the annotation pieces. So again, submitting it again is a good cue to you. If you've seen that it's been submitted twice, then that'll be that much more obvious to the students. And so that's how that looks. I'm going to leave the student view.
Someone asked, is this preferable to having them download the document, editing it, and then uploading it?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I would say yes. Just because if they are trying to download a PDF, they're going to need a lot of really specific software enabled in order to be able to annotate it. And so this is going to save them from having any special software. It's going to save them from leaving Canvas. So yeah, definitely, I would say this is going to be easier for them as soon as they learn the trick of it.
And in the modules that we've given you, can you show them the videos that they can show their students how to do it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and this is great. You can use that same embedding thing. If you take some of these videos, which are already on YouTube, right here at the annotating PDFs, the directions here for you will tell you just, that goes over what I just showed you. The directions for students will tell them exactly what to do. And there are 2 videos in here. One is specifically for computers and one is for iPads. So they'll have both those options. And what you can do is just open this video on YouTube, grab the embed code and put that in as part of your assignment directions. Once your kids get used to it, you can probably start to phase that out. But at the beginning of the year, you want to give them every opportunity to understand directions, especially for this sort of different type of assignment. So there's your directions for computer and for iPad. Moving on?
Yeah,
awesome.
you're good.
Okay, I see my Pomodoro timer still on. All right, so the next thing that I want to show you, the other type of assignment that you can do is an Office 365 cloud assignment. That is an LTI integration, so let's start talking about that. People have already asked me, what is LTI? It stands for Learning Tools Interoperability. You don't actually need to know what learning tools interoperability means, except that it means that this is something you can tie into Canvas so that when you create an assignment, you can pull this assignment and then when kids respond to it, it will go into your speed grader. And so you never have to leave Canvas to create the assignment and they never have to leave Canvas to complete it. So the benefit of an LTI over embedding is that it takes all of those different pieces and it puts them all in one place. So it keeps everybody in Canvas and it's very straightforward that way. Embedding gives you a lot more options. There are tons of things you can embed that just don't have an option for LTI integration. So I want to go over some of the most common ones. A few of these you will find are done for you. So your Office 365 is already integrated by the county. And so you can create an assignment that is an Office 365 cloud assignment. The overwhelming feeling that I got from your discussion posts was that you guys were already comfortable with the idea of creating an Office 365 cloud assignment, but you were very interested in seeing how it looks in the speed grader because you don't have students and you can't see these things from the test student point of view. So I did want to show you, this is an example of something that I put in the, it's an example 365 assignment. And this is what it looks like. Again, here's that speed grader with all those same tools that we talked about. So you can take a look, you can add annotations here in the speed grader to something that was put in there by a student. So thank you, Nisha, for completing this assignment so we can look. She added this graphic as part of her response. And so I can then go through and I can add comments and I can also give her a grade here and I can add comments. I think this right here, this assignment comments, despite all the magic speed grader tools, these assignment comments are going to be the easiest for your students to access. They're definitely going to look here first. And so this is where your best meaningful feedback is going to go, is going to be in this box. I especially like this button because it allows you to give media feedback. So your voice or your face to share like meaningful feedback for your students. We know that's more effective than grades. So that's a quick look at an Office 365 assignment. And now I'm going to talk about the actual courses that you will want to integrate when you are working in Canvas. So any questions about that before I talk about Flipgrid?
Nope, you're good.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. Okay, so we talked about Flipgrid already and some of the ways that you can embed it. But if you are going to assign this as a grade for students, you're definitely going to do an LTI integration. Now, Office 365 is already integrated for you, and some of these other things will be depending on the school you're at, but Flipgrid is one that no one can do for you. This is something that has to be done by you for each individual course that you teach. And there's no shortcuts around that, so I really want to make sure you understand the process for Flipgrid. You're going to start in the course that you're trying to integrate it in, and you're going to go to the settings of that course. From settings, you're going to go to the tab that says apps, and all LTI integrations are going to feel really familiar. They're all going to go through this exact same process. So course settings, apps, and then you're going to search for the thing that you're trying to integrate. Again, this is a list of everything we can currently integrate. You won't need most of these things, but you can always check and see if they're available by starting to type in what you're looking for. And there's Flipgrid. I'm going to click it, and then I can click plus app. And here's where a lot of people get hung up because it asks me for a consumer key and shared secret. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Flipgrid, and I'm going to click on my icon up here. And then I'm going to choose integrations. And you can see I've already integrated this into 3 different courses. So each course that you have is going to create a separate consumer key and shared secret. Each time that you start, you're going to click add new integration. And then I'm going to name it the name of this Canvas course. And so I'm going to say Canvas course example. And I'm going to click create. And now I can copy my consumer key and go back to my course details and paste that in there, And then for my shared secret, same thing. I can copy that shared secret, go back to my Canvas tab and paste in there. And then when I click add app, it tells me it was added successfully. If I don't believe the pop-up that says it was added successfully, I can click refresh. And when that loads up again, it will show me that Flipgrid should now be visible to me in my course navigation over here. It should be. Even if it's not though, the other way I can check is by making sure I can now create an assignment with that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what that looks like. It's kind of complicated, but I already have Flipgrid integrated in the course that we're in. So I'm going back to our course to create an assignment. So I'm clicking assignments. I'm going to create a new assignment. I'm going to call it practice Flipgrid assignment. And then I'm going to go ahead and put any directions that I want for my students in here. If I want to give them some specific things, I can do that in the Flipgrid as well, but I think it's always best if the students can see clear directions right up in front. And then I'm going to skip through all of this stuff and go to submission type. And I'm going to choose external tool. And I'm going to click find. And this is going to bring up everything that I have integrated. Here's Flipgrid. So I'm going to select it. And I can tell that it worked because now it says Flipgrid in this link. And I'm going to go through the rest of my assignments and I'm going to click save. And in fact, that's all I need to do for that one. You'll notice that I didn't create any of, when you normally create a Flipgrid topic, there are a lot of things that you have to put in there. The good news about this one is that you don't have to, you can just put the directions up here. But if you want to edit this, I actually think it's easier to go back to Flipgrid and edit all of the things there. So I'm not going to go through all of those steps because that is that's a whole course on Flipgrid that we could talk about. And if you are interested in a Flipgrid course, I know there are some in the professional development catalog that you can register for, but that's how you create a Flipgrid assignment. That way you can see that you can see all of the student work here, and students can also see can respond right here within Canvas. So it's a lot smoother than trying to send them out to another activity. Any questions about Flipgrid?
No, but this was a good question. I answered it, but I think it's helpful for all. Someone asked if they already have topics, how do they pull them in? You wouldn't. So you would just have to embed those old ones. You can only use the LTI for new topics you create through an assignment.
Right, absolutely. And so you'd have to, if you had this in 4 different courses, you would have to create those 4 courses separately. Once you create this grid, it's very exclusive to the course that you integrated it with. You can't create a topic in this grid and let anyone outside of this Canvas course see it. So that is one kind of limitation of the LTI feature. Ready to move on? Okay. The next one that I want to show you about is Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is a great tool for creating a quiz within a video. Again, I'm not going to give you all of the ups and downs of Edpuzzle. The thing that you should know about Edpuzzle is that our initial impression was that you could not create an LTI integration unless your school paid for a subscription. Or you paid for a subscription. However, I have tested it with a free account. I know of at least one person who did it in summer school, did an LTI integration with a free account and had no problems using it completely effectively within Canvas. And she's really pleased with the way it worked out. So I'm going to show you this as an LTI integration, whether you have a free or paid account. Just knowing that as far as we know, this should absolutely work for both free and paid. So it's going to be the same thing again to integrate it. You're going to go to, oh, I've already got it integrated in this class. You're going to go to your settings for your course, and you're going to click on apps, and you're going to go to Edpuzzle, and you're going to add it and click plus add app. And again, you're going to be prompted for consumer key and shared secret. In Edpuzzle, you can get those things by making sure you're logged into your Edpuzzle account. And then you're going to go to your icon over here, and you're going to click on your own name. And once you've chosen your name to pull up your profile, you're then going to click on school and scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. And here's where your LMS integration is. You're going to choose Canvas, of course, and that's going to generate a code for you for your consumer key and shared secret. If I click copy and go back to where I'm integrating and paste, same thing, copy and paste, and I click add app, I get that same message letting me know it was successfully connected. And I can see it right there where I've added it, which is great. And again, to create an Edpuzzle assignment, you're going to go back to your assignments. And those assignments are down at the bottom for me. And you're going to click plus assignment. And again, all of the LTIs, the only thing that's really different from LTI to LTI is the experience of finding the consumer key and shared secret. So I'm going to say Edpuzzle example. Again, student directions go here. I scroll down to my submission type, which is external tool, and click find. And this time I'm going to choose Edpuzzle. The first time you do this, it will prompt you to make sure you're signed into your account. So do make sure you have that taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and grab this Canvas tutorial and assign that. I can choose in this assignment whether or not I want students to be able to skip through and answer every question or not. In this case, I'll leave it off for you guys. I would generally, for students, I leave prevent skipping on. And then I can assign that to you, and I click select. Again, fill in any other details. And then that assignment will be visible for you to interact with. Now, my view here as a teacher is going to give me the ability to just sort of grade it the way I would in Edpuzzle. I'm going to still see the teacher view of, if you're familiar with Edpuzzle, I'm going to see the teacher view. Notice I've got all of my students in here. I can see your progress. You as a student, when you see this, I'll go ahead and put this one in the module. You can see the video the way students would see it in Edpuzzle. As I add that to the module, Katie, any questions on Edpuzzle integration?
No. So a question just came in, Jenna. It does offer CC if the video came from YouTube and has it, but that video I think was from Vimeo. So I think that's why it did not have a closed caption.
Yeah, and of course, thank you for asking that, because that's a great question that you should always be thinking about, is accessibility. Not just for our students who have hearing loss, but also for our students who may be learning at home with 3 other siblings in the room, and having a video on with sound might not even be an option for them. So closed captions are going to be a huge deal for our kids this year, all of them, whether they have an IEP that says it or not. The last one that I want to show you is the Nearpod integration. Now, theoretically, you shouldn't have to do this. Nearpod integration is something that can be done by your school ITC for all of your courses. However, in case that does not work out for you, you can also do it individually for your class. And this one does look a little different from the other ones, so I just wanted to highlight it for you. If you have a school account, you can do this LTI integration. If you have an account that you paid for yourself, you still cannot do this integration. This is specifically for school paid accounts. So I know a lot of schools have that, so I still definitely want to show what it looks like. And in news, it won't surprise you. It starts by going to your settings and going to apps, searching for the app that you want to integrate. And I had installed selected, which is why it didn't appear. So I needed to click on all. So I can see Nearpod, and I click add app. This is the one place where you're not actually going to your account to start integrating it. Instead, you need to get to this website, nearpod.com/LMS-integration. You need to make sure also that you are signed into that school account. This says My Nearpod instead of signed in, so I know it works. You don't have to write this link down. Every time I need to get to this link, I just Google Nearpod LTI, and this is the top hit. So it's really easy to find. Again, it's a quick Google of Nearpod LTI. And you'll scroll down until you see this big blue button that says Generate Consumer Key and Shared Secret. And there it is. Again, you can click copy. In fact, I'm not even going to do it this time because you've seen me copy and paste consumer keys and shared secrets enough to know how it works. But once again, I can go back to assignments, and I can create a new external tool assignment with Nearpod involved in it as the external tool. And I'll do that again just to show you how it looks. This would be a Nearpod example. No, thank you. Student directions, go here. And then in my external tool, I'm gonna find Nearpod. There it is. And then it's gonna bring up all of my lessons that I could assign. I already have one in the class, so I'm not gonna go ahead, and I already have a lesson you can look at in the course, so I'm not gonna do this one at this moment, but you can take a look at that example lesson. The other thing you'll notice is that whenever you integrate something, almost everything that you integrate, it will appear in the course navigation as well. If I, as a teacher, click on the Nearpod integration, it's going to take me to my library. However, if I, as a student, click on Nearpod, it's going to take me to the place where I would put in a join code. And I think that's good to know, because if you are doing a Zoom with your students, you can tell them to go to Nearpod and Canvas, and they don't have to type in anything specific. You can just say, all right, click on Nearpod and Canvas, and here's the code. So it gives you that live option over here as well. And then you can launch it from here. So once again, it's just a great option for you and your students not to have to leave Canvas in order to do what you want to do. And that's what makes LTI integrations kind of awesome. Any questions about that?
Nope, we're good.
Okay. So those were all of the things that I wanted to go through. Katie, we're kind of burning through it today, huh?
We kind of are, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone says they wanted to know how to embed a Google Doc in Canvas.
Yeah. Embedding, do you want to take that?
Sure, I can take it. I can take it, sure. If you want to let me.
Yeah, I think we can do, oops, let me stop sharing. I don't know how computers work. If you want, we can, you know, sort of just take requests.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, actually, Biz, I just found out that I am going to co-lead that class with you next week on Tuesday.
Yay!
So I'll put the link to that in the chat if any of you guys want to come. It is going to be about course design and cross-listing. So if you're interested in joining us Tuesday evening at 6:30, that is now happening.
We're going to do one more LTI integration in that class that we didn't cover in this one, which is about badging, which I think is fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is fun. Yeah. All right. So to embed a Google Doc, first I need to go to one. So let me see. I'm going to do, let me share my screen. So if this is only for Google schools, I should add. You should not be using Google Docs if you are not a Google school. So please keep that in mind.
But you can do the same thing with a Microsoft form.
They ask for a Google Doc.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, a doc. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just kidding. You can't do the same thing with a Microsoft Doc.
Oh, it was in private. Sorry. All right. So I would go to, in my Google Doc, I would go to File, and I would go to Publish to Web. And I would go to Embed. I would get this embed code that's there, and I could then put it on. That is if you, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is you can do it directly in the rich content editor. I can go to the little plug on the rich content editor, and I can look for my Google Doc, and I can select it and embed it right from there. So that would be for a Google document. If you, I might as well show a Google form while I'm here. Google form, you can also generate a share code. So if you have a Google form, so if you've been a Google school and you have those Google form quizzes that you've been using for a long time, you can just click on your send button. Click send, and you have those. Click embed.
Katie, you're going to have to probably say that again. You
got your Google form on a page. Oh, great. All right, let's see. Hopefully this will be better. All right. So you get your code from the send button, and you look for that embed code, those less than greater than sign, you copy it, and you go back to Canvas and you paste it. And then your Google form will be on the page. So pretty straightforward. Again, you're always looking for that less than greater than sign. That's always going to be what you want to do for embedding. A Microsoft form would be the same. Yep, they give you an embed code at the share button too. You should not use any Google Docs if you are not a Google school. Yeah. All right. Other questions, Biz? What do we got coming in?
No, I mean, the main question that I'm seeing is, can we do that with, I'm going to put my video back on if we're not sharing. Can we do that with Microsoft too? And the answer is not right now. We have some kind of problem between Microsoft and Canvas doing embedding, and it's appears that what happens is if you embed something, it looks right to the teacher, but students are still unable to see it. So yeah. I hope that's something that's going to be resolved. But right now, if you want students to participate in a Microsoft document or PowerPoint or something like that, you're going to have to link to it and send them to it in PowerPoint online or in Word online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, all of the questions that I'm seeing here in the chat would be great things if that was resolved. And if that's resolved, we'll make sure that is widely announced because I know a lot of people would like to be able to do that.
Yeah, if it gets resolved, we'll put an announcement in this course. And like you said, we'll still have access to this course, so.
But yes, absolutely, Courtney, cloud assignments definitely work. They are gonna be a great tool for you. I love cloud assignments. I think they're beautiful.
So if you want to ask a question and you want to get on the screen and talk, just raise your hand and we will call on you.
Yeah, I can show you how to create a cloud assignment. Let me share up my screen again. Make sure that you aren't seeing my hundreds of icons and judging my screen. Okay, so if I want to do an assignment with Office 365, I'll show you how I set up the one that's already in the course. So you can see an example already in our course of an Office 365 assignment. It's down there towards the bottom of the LTI integrations. And again, you've already seen the grading end of this, but I clicked on Office 365 instead of assignments. My fault, apologies. Okay, so I'm going to create a new assignment. And again, you'd want to give it a descriptive name. So the one I'm going to do is some kind of essay template. I didn't even spell it correctly. And then I would go ahead and always put student directions. And then this is just going to feel exactly like all the other LTI type assignments. You make sure your submission type is external tool. You click on find, and then you're going to scroll down to Office 365 cloud assignment. That's going to open up your OneDrive, and it's going to open your OneDrive in alphabetical order in not anything that has been shared with you. So if you've got something that was shared with you that you want to put in here, you need to make sure you have your own copy saved in your OneDrive. And they are all in alphabetical order. So I put this folder for anything I want to use in Canvas as _Canvas, just to push it to the top of my OneDrive. So every time I'm in Canvas, I don't have to go searching for it. So when I click on that folder, I can see anything that I want to upload here. I can click essay template and attach it. And then it loads, and it's going to create that same assignment that is already on the course. So you can see what this looks like from a student point of view if you go ahead and look at the LTI module. I'd click select, do all of those other things, and post it. Katie, I haven't been looking at the chat. What other questions we got?
Oh, we got it. People were just asking specific questions, and I got them. So I think we're good. All right. How would you do questions like, how would you do a fill in the blank? So I would do a Word document probably and make a cloud assignment with that.
Yeah, or you could do it as a quiz. If you just want, like, instead of a fill in the blank worksheet, if you wanted it to be a quiz, which you could create that and make your question type fill in the blank. And I love that because you can also give question by question feedback as they're taking the quiz. So on each question, they can see how they're doing if you want to give that as a formative type of assessment. And yeah, when you have an Office 365 assignment, every student is going to be able to get their own copy. So they won't see each other's work.
Well, the kids need to open online. What do you mean, Mindy? Do you want to get on mic and tell us more what you mean?
Hi, I've been playing around with it. So some of the tools would say, you know, open online or download. So if I was doing something like that where it was a cloud assignment in my directions, do I need to tell the children to click the button that says open online, complete the assignment, and then submit?
Yeah, for most things, they're going to need to be online. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a way to embed exam view question banks? I've seen some hacks about this online. I don't exactly remember them all, but that's something definitely Google. There is ways to do it, to actually upload your exam banks to Canvas quizzes. So that's what I could recommend there. If you need to Oh, I thought we were updating from 364 to 365 for a second. And I was like, oh, how do you make it? You would have to create a new assignment to show an updated version. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird when you make that assignment, it creates essentially a whole new file. And then, so it's no longer linked to what you initially set up.
All right, so we kind of speeded through today. So I'm going to put the
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to ask really quick if, Biz, if when you say to then that it creates a new assignment, are you going to see it listed in your OneDrive as something that goes to Canvas, or just see another copy?
It puts it in a folder, so you won't see it unless you're looking for it, but it's in there.
Does it say Canvas, or do you?
I think it says Canvas, actually. I'm pretty sure it says Canvas, and then there's folders with courses inside. Without looking, that's what I think is true.
Okay, thanks.
I have put the attendance in the chat, so please make sure you complete the attendance. We will be closing that form shortly after the session ends, so don't save it for later. We don't want to hear sob stories about attendance, so please complete that attendance form.
But you have us on the books for a little while longer, so if we have not answered your questions, we'd be happy to. Nisha also volunteered if you want to see things from a student's point of view to kind of give a sneak peek of that. So we can do that.
I'm still having a difficult time doing the Google form. I'm getting the same pop-up that I got last time, Katie.
All right, Ms. Trisco, that means you need to open it in an incognito window. So you need to go up to your, that means you're probably logged in with someone in Google. You need to open a incognito guest window. So go up to the 3 dots in the top corner of Chrome and select new incognito window and paste the link there.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have it set. I have it set so that you should not have to log into an account to complete it.
Okay, just kidding. You don't have to log into an account to fill it out. But I guess if you do have to sign into an account, we can't track that at all. So we're not going to know if you use a school Google or personal Google or one that you just made up or whatever.
Yeah,
so
you shouldn't have to. It should be fine. You should just be able to click the link and it opened up. So try refreshing the page if it's asking for a login. Just try that. Yeah.
So I figured out what's wrong, ladies. If we went and played with it and practiced in it, it opened a window for us that is actually Microsoft. I never use it. It's a Microsoft window. And so if you were in there playing with some of the things you asked us, we could look at and do, then you were already logged in. If you close that out, then when you open your attendance, it won't give you that message. Does that make sense? Sort of.
I'm not sure, but it sounds like, I think what you are describing might be the same thing that would achieve the same thing as refreshing.
I couldn't get it.
We have 90 people have completed it, so.
Yeah.
90 people have completed it, so it sounds like most people are having a fine time with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if you are looking for some after school PD, next week on Tuesday, we're doing the course design and cross listing. And on Wednesday at 6:30, we're doing this again, if you want to share it with someone.
Yes. So Tuesday night, course design and cross listing. And I get to talk, or Biz gets to talk about badging, which I am super stoked about.
Oh, I think you should talk about it, Katie. You're like the badging
We haven't
girl,
talked about this yet.
No, we've done zero planning. I mean, we've done lots of planning, but not together.
Yes. Don't make them sound like we're not planning.
No, we're still planned.
Yes. And can you have access to Flipgrid Shorts? You have Flipgrid Shorts in your, what did you mean by access to them? To mine? Oh. Those are for the Woodbridge students. So they're pretty specific to Woodbridge High School things. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you had a good class.
You absolutely can take a class more than once if you feel like you didn't soak it in. So Ms. Martinez, if you also, most of the things that we're doing in these courses we'll be doing during the teacher work week at Fredlin as well. So you can have this in multiple ways and multiple times. If you sign up for another class, you might get different presenters between different classes.
What is a badge, just to see if it's something you would like to sign up for? Yeah, sure. Badging is basically kind of creating a, like a Boy Scout or Girl Scout badge for completing a module for mastery. So you can set up your modules in Canvas to automatically reward a student a badge for mastery. And it's just kind of another level, like if you do UDL practices, Universal Design of Learning, just another extrinsic motivation tool aside from a grade that, anyone who gets mastery, D or above would get the same badge. And it's just another, you can use it to build class culture in your online classroom. And I really like the idea of having students design the badges that then the kids would get. So just a kind of another way to set up your class.
Yeah, it's really motivating for some kids. You won't reach every kid with it, but there are a lot of kids who will be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna work for a grade, but I'll work for a badge.
Yeah, I think you might have been able to earn some badges like in a Grow with Canvas class if you took one from your ITC or something like that. Those are, you might have seen it in that way before. Tuesday night. Yep, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
It is in the catalog.
Yeah, and I'll put the link in this chat again for it.
Can I ask you a really quick question? I'm not sure I'm being clear on this, but when you make a short like you did, Catherine, do you have to also link that? Like,
yes,
we were saying.
You put the link to it and embed it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's just an accessibility thing. Students will only need one or the other, but it's on us to give them those options.
Using badges is totally okay in the division. Yeah. I mean, I did it way back in my earth science classroom with like a passport that I would stamp. It's the same kind of premise, like, just like having a marker for kids that they can visualize more than just like that letter grade. Yep. Oh, you have a question about my mic? Oh yeah, this is, it's from Amazon.
Yeah, I was wondering, so like I was debating on getting like one that I could plug into the audio port of my phone so that I could, if I was in the classroom recording, which now I realize we're not going to be in the classroom as much as I thought we were, but like so that I could have it on my laptop. And then I was thinking, my headphones, like I don't always have the best hearing with it. So I mean, this is a pretty big mic. I wasn't thinking anything like that big, but I was thinking like even a smaller one that I could clip on my shirt or something.
Yeah. This company, Fine on Amazon. This one's like $50, so it's not I mean, it's not crazy, but it's a nice condenser mic. And it's not, I don't know, maybe I'm just a small person. It's not as big as it looks. I don't know.
Oh,
No, I mean, it's kind of big, but not too big. Like this is my hand, so in comparison. Yeah. It's a USB mic. It just plugs into a USB port. So pretty easy.
and I guess the second question, so you guys are like high school, right? High school?
Mhm.
ITC?
Middle school.
Okay, so you guys are very knowledgeable, which is awesome, but are there any elementary school like ITCs or anyone you could kind of like throw like, oh yes, you like this person, like reach out to them, because a lot of this is like really great and I plan on using it, all of it, no matter what. But on the aspect of like the elementary side, like if I'm third grade, but if I'm going to like help my kindergarten friend, like I'm assuming they would have like that expertise. Do you know of anyone?
I would start with the person at your school.
Okay.
Another thing you can do is if you want to reach a wide range of perspectives, are you in the ITCs for All Facebook group?
Yeah.
Okay, so that, I mean, any question you post in there will be seen by any ITC in there. And it's not every ITC. You know, some people like to make sure they have that boundary between work and life. But that will get you probably several elementary perspectives from people who have more hands-on experience with elementary stuff than Katie and I do.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to say something on that too. I'm an elementary ITC new. However, all these trainings, and I've encouraged all of my staff, no matter if it says middle school, high school in the offerings, because the tools are all the same. It's just how you use the tool. So I saw one of my teachers in the chat, which was amazing. The tools are the same, so you just make it to your level. So I encourage whatever trainings that are out there, all the ITCs were like, I'm in here trying to get more expertise as well so that I can also train my staff. So we're all working on this together. It's just kind of like one all big group. So thank you again to these wonderful ladies. And yeah, we're all working together, and you can always take anything you have for any of these and put it to whatever level, whatever grade that you're teaching. So.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, what?
No, I'm asking the teachers, babe. Sorry, my son heard me ask. This is my third or fourth class I've gone to, and they keep talking about that you have to embed and also do the link. What student would not be able to access the embed? I'm just curious, because you were saying you have more control when it's embedded than the linking. So
someone using a screen reader would need the link.
So that would be someone who has visual issues, is that correct?
Yep.
So if they're using their phone, would they still be able to use the embedded?
No, they may need the link for that too. So mobile devices, the link is also beneficial for.
Mobile devices is, okay, I was wondering about, because unfortunately some kids do come in on mobile, which,
Yep, that's what we got. We're going to make it work.
I mean, we just have to make it work, you know, and I work with a lot of SPED kids, so you know, I just want to have a lot of different options for them.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much. This was an awesome class. I'll see you guys Tuesday night.
Okay. Sounds
Thanks.
good.
Bye.
Yeah.
So
I can put this document, put a Google Doc, and it has all the INT, the KLC courses in it. So I have a link to a Google Doc. Someone's asking in the chat. Yeah, and I don't know, you know, what the future sessions of all of these different courses are, but that is at least a listing of what is being offered. I put the link to the badging class in there, but it's also in that document there. You're going to look for the course design and cross-listing class.
Have fun at your next training. Oh yeah, having that number is helpful too.
Yeah.
Some people are having a hard time copying and pasting out of the chat.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, if it was just me or what. I usually can copy and paste the entire chat, and it's not letting me do anything.
Are you on an iPad?
No, I'm on a laptop.
That's weird.
I think it's secured so that it's not copy and pasteable.
Oh, okay. So you can do that on Zoom?
I think they have.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean, you wouldn't want a kid copying confidential stuff, you know, that happens in a class.
Okay, so you think it's automatic? Like
I
even,
think it is because I can't
Okay.
also copy or paste anything. So
okay, good to know.
I was also trying that earlier, and
Oh yeah, I can like, wait, I think I can select and I think I can copy.
I can select it. I can't copy.
So
Oh,
you
no,
all are
you're right. I
sending
can't.
us,
You're absolutely right. I can't either.
you're sending us a link to the video, right?
Which video?
This recording here.
It will be, yeah, I'll put it in the classroom.
And then does the chat also get posted as a separate file, or will it just be within the video?
It would be a separate file.
Okay, great. So then we can maybe open up the chat then and get what we need.
Sure, yeah, but it's all in the classroom.
Thank you so much.
Just about the class, we were calling it the badging class because I think it's one of the cool features and it ties to the LTI integrations we've been talking about. But we're not just going to talk about badging in the class. We're going to talk about course design, and badging is just one possible aspect of that. So we're going to talk about a variety of things within course design and the pros and cons of cross-listing your classes and how to do that. And if you see an elementary school course that is available for the same content, then yeah, I think that's a great one to sign up for. That'll be done by elementary school ITCs and will have an elementary spin. I think this is one topic with course design and cross-listing where there's going to be big differences between elementary and secondary, because it's not just how Canvas works, but it's like, here are some things that are going to be best for your students. So there's going to be big differences there for elementary and secondary.
All right, did everyone get the attendance? I'm going to share it one more time.
Courtney, just about cross-listing, I would say talk to your ITC about it, because that, again, it's going to be really different. I don't even know if elementary is super able to cross-list, or that would be a question better with your ITC.
We'll be uploading this to YouTube, so you can feel free to share it with anyone. But yeah, for Biz and I, next Tuesday and Wednesday, I think are the last things we're going to be offering countywide.
Jennifer, teachers who are just starting, I don't know if these courses specifically are going to be, I mean, this isn't really a good course for somebody who's just starting Canvas anyway, but a lot of the stuff we did over the summer, like our boot camp classes, are available on YouTube. So we have a lot of recordings of trainings available.
And that's at youtube.itcsforall.com. Put it in the chat. You'll find all of our videos there.
There's a lot.
It's a lot. Yep.
This.
Yeah.
The session that you posted, like 32707 Canvas introduction collaboration in Canvas and Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the Power School and look for it, it doesn't appear, doesn't show up as that. When I click on that one as the number 32707, it's just not found. I was trying to submit again to fill it up and to assist on all the classes again, just to make sure that I'm learning all what I need to, but I can't do that in the 32707.
I sent you a link to your email just now. Can you see if you can sign up there at the link I just sent?
Okay, let me see. A 709?
Yeah, it's 709, right?
No, it's 70. The one that is in the list that you sent that has been pasted on the.
Oh, okay. You know what?
KLC in courses, so it says Canvas basic courses, and then intermediate, and then hot topics. The third one in the basic courses. Is
Okay.
707.
Did you say that you'd already taken it, but you want to take it again?
Yeah, I took, well, I don't know if it's exactly the same. I took the 12 different modules that you did, like in June or something like that.
Yeah, that one. No, that's different.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you can't do 707.
Yeah, when I click on that one in the Power School, I go and look for the number 32 in the magnifying glass. I look for 32707, and it's not showing me that one. It says no courses found.
Oh,
But if I text that 706, that is the previous one, yeah, it appears.
What is she trying to take?
There's no upcoming sessions for that one right now. That's why. Yeah, that's the Canvas and Zoom. There's just nobody. There's nobody who's signed up to teach that right now. So you can keep an eye on it. More sessions might be coming out, but it's not a problem that you're experiencing. It's just there's nothing there to sign up for right now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Thank you guys for coming. We're going to stop recording.